What movie do you consider perfect? Doctor Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. The idea that all of humanity could come to an end because the people in charge are idiots still blows my mind. This movie was made 55 years ago. Who's surprised it's this far down? One of the best black comedies of all time. Demonstrates the singular genius of Peter Sellers quite well. Little Miss Sunshine. The characters and the cast selected for them, absolutely brilliant. The storyline is really in-depth yet relatable because the Hoovers are like any other family, complicated. The writing is superb. All the characters have development and impactful scenes. And the camera work, my word is it phenomenal. Time and time again each shot is symbolic. Every character's position and frame means something. Fantastic work. And don't get me started on the soundtrack. If you're not blown away by any of the sheer skill I've mentioned, the music throughout will definitely sway you. Touching and emotive, so fitting. It's so lovely, and I always get emotional by its beauty every time I watch it. Catch Me If You Can. Literally the smoothest MF to ever live. That movie was wild. The fact that it's true, just makes it legendary. If you like books, I'd give the book a shot. Like all movies, they left out quite a bit. And you're given more backstory on how / why he started scamming. Agreed. The movie is awesome, but the book is even better. The book also spends tons of time talking about his time in French prison. In the book it's way worse than the movie. Silence of the Lambs. Your comment, good sir, is criminally underappreciated. The flaws and vulnerabilities of every character other than Lecter are magnificently presented. He's playing chess, while everyone else is playing checkers. I'm such a wuss with horror movies, which is why it took me so long to watch it. I.e. I still get freaked out when I see a picture of the girl from The Ring. The psychological thriller aspect is what makes it scary without relying on jump scares, except like one, or creepy cinematography. This movie is brilliant. The First Blues Brothers. It's 106 miles to Chicago. We have a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark and we are wearing sunglasses. Hit it. Fargo. You okay over there, Margie? Oh yeah, you betcha. You're such a super lady, sobs. Stand By Me. First R-rated movie I ever watched. Thought it was dumb. Years later I realized coming of age movies are a lot more engaging when you have grown up. Wait, this is R-rated? I first watched it in school. Well, growing up it seems like we'd always see these movies when they were run on broadcast TV and maybe mom and dad managed to record it on your VCR. They cute out the swearing and a handful of things that made them R or maybe PG-13, so that's how I always remembered them. It still catches me by surprise when I'm watching some movie from my childhood with my young kids, and surprise, swear words. Even The Sand that has a little swearing I didn't remember, lol. Caddyshack and Christmas Vacation are a few other examples. Surprise nudity in Caddyshack. Doubt Kenny literally does coke in the background of one of the shots. I feel like nudity is the least of your worries when showing it to children. John Carpenter's The Thing. It's the perfect blend of isolation, paranoia, bloody horror, practical effects, and a shifting alien. Edit. Obligatory thanks for gold/silver/platinum. Plus this unused ID for the final confrontation is a must-see by anyone who has enjoyed this movie. Edit 2. Can't believe I forgot about the write-up that tells the story from the alien's perspective. Thanks/you/Scarce the Vampire. It makes some assumptions about the end, but is still an enjoyable read. You forgot the score, which perfectly supports all the other element of that movie. JC adapted an already fantastic short story of cosmic horror and shocked the world with it. The world wasn't ready for The Thing when it came out, but thankfully it aged beautifully. I couldn't agree more. Ennio Morricone and JC really outdid themselves with the score. I always love the lingering beat synth main theme, but upon recent rewatches, I really enjoyed the orchestral parts, which are also so haunting and good at building that underlying tension that pervades in the whole movie. Raiders of the Lost Ark is the perfect action movie for me. The intro to Indiana Jones in the jungle is perfect, even with little dialogue. The pacing is great, the characters are solid, the humor is natural, the environments are diverse, and the music is unforgettable. Just an awesome, fun time. I love Raiders, but I feel like there are a lot of developments that happen in it just because. Indy and Marion used to have a relationship, now Marion hates him, until the next scene, where she decides that she doesn't. Indy is a skeptic who doesn't believe in God, until the end of the movie, where he suddenly thinks that he and Marion should close their eyes when the Nazis open the Ark. There's a point A and a point B, but there isn't a whole lot about what happens in between these two major character developments. On the other hand, you know what movie does this really well? The Last Crusade. That whole movie is about Indy and Henry Sr. mending a broken relationship and learning to respect one another. We see why they don't get along throughout the whole movie, yet they both share multiple moments that bring them closer. So when Indy's dad calls him Indiana and tells him to let the Grail go, that moment is totally earned. Two great movies. One is an iconic classic, but the other is perfect in my opinion. Let's not forget the awkward bond of Junior and Senior realizing they are Eskimo brothers. Young Frankenstein, wow. Gold twice. Thanks kind strangers. But it is like the best movie. The Truman Show. Holy hell, that ending. The original Alien. I'm 24 years old, born in 1995. First time watching was in the grandparents' farmhouse in Ireland. Grandmother puts it on at 10:30 and says enjoy lads, love you both, and leaves us with Coca-Cola, crisps, you name it we had it, all the munches to 12-year-olds could want. End of the film and I've never been so fucking terrified. Still scares me to this day and I practically know it word for word. I fucking love Alien. My only criticism of the movie is that it takes a bit too long for things to really get going, but after that it's absolutely brilliant. At the end, when Ripley says signing off, every single time it reminds me of how great cinema can be. The Hunt for Red October. Believable characters, believable tech even for the one bleeding edge thing that underpins the whole movie. Deaths are few and significant. Very little in the way of special effects, so what is there doesn't screw things up too badly. It's a repeat watch for me. I would like to have seen Montana. The hardest part about playing chicken is knowing when to flinch. What about Bob? Richard Dreyfuss legitimately hated Bill Murray on set. Julie Haggerty is a comic genius. Charlie Corsmo puts in a child performance for the ages, and for bonus a young Katharina from Law and Order. Dreyfuss in an interview said that Bill Murray got drunkenly belligerent, yelled at the top of his lungs to Dreyfuss nobody likes you, and then threw a glass ashtray at Richard Dreyfuss's head. I'm partial to believe Dreyfuss as I've heard similar stories about Bill Murray, but I'm also partial in believing what Murray said was accurate because I've heard countless stories regarding actors who hated working with Dreyfuss. Murray and Chase hated each other on Caddyshack. Believe that was a big part of what made the dynamic work. Edit. First gold. Thank you. Office Space Edit. Thank you Redditors for some hilarious comments and threads. Edit. Thank you kind Redditor for the silver. Edit. Thank you for the gold. I now have 2 pieces of flair. My only complaint is that it hurts to watch because it's too real. That's usually a sign that it's time to find a new job. It's like when my father left his job in 1999 and he said that Dilbert was no longer funny because it was too real. Yeah, that's the conclusion I came to. Fortunately, I've since left the job that made me feel that way. I sometimes worry that I won't be able to find a job that won't make me feel that way, though. Groundhog Day. Don't forget Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day 2 man. Ah, you mean Groundhog Day. Back to the Future, the first one, though I do enjoy the other 2. The dialogue is brilliantly tight, the acting is incredible and the story, while bizarre, is original and executed flawlessly and includes some truly iconic sequences. The skateboard chase scene, the insane bedroom scene with his mom, the parking lot knockout, the Johnny B. Good sequence, etc. Also, the whole aesthetic of the movie is one big masterpiece. The set pieces, the cinematography, the soundtrack, it all fits together as one. When I think of movie magic, this is one of the movies that comes to mind. Edit. Thanks for the gold/upvote/karma. Haven't got this many points in anything since that time I flipped my car on the highway. Second edit. Saw a few comments about how weird it is, and there's more than one weird part of this movie that George hires Biff years later and is cool with him being around. I always thought it was way darker than that. George hit Biff so hard that he lost consciousness for several minutes. In real life, that means serious brain damage, which would explain how dopey Biff is later on. But George wasn't content with that. He wanted to subtly control Biff psychologically for the rest of his life, and so he did. To make it even darker, in BTTF2 Biff briefly wakes up from being knocked out as Marty is standing over him. What does Marty do? He violently fist blasts him directly in the face at a 90-degree angle, hard enough to knock him fully unconscious a second time. We never see how badly that truly wrecks him in the alternate future. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos.